The San Remo building is probably one of the most recognizable buildings on the west side, especially when they show the park as a whole. San Remo has the two towers, and that building sits at like 74th, 75th, 76th ish, 75th ish. Yeah, bring that up today because I see it. I'm in the park this morning. It's after 6. There's light. Sun's not up yet. There's light. I think the sun gets up around 6:36 this morning. So another half an hour-ish. There's enough light out where the street lamps are on, maybe not really needed. Part of that adjustment of the time change, I'm sure. But the San Remo building is, I'm not sure how many floors it has. Maybe, let's see, 20, 30, I mean, between 30 and 40 floors. I have to imagine it's probably mostly residential. Usually the ground floors are professional offices, like optometrists and surgeons, dentists. That's how most of the buildings are on Central Park West. Anyway, I was out this morning and it was dusk, and one light in the San Remo, outside of the two tower lights, one light was on, which made me think if I had my big boy camera or even my film camera out with me, film camera might be tough because it's dark enough that I'd have to bring a tripod out. But that one light is on. I think it might look cool because it's high enough that no other buildings would be blocking or would be in the shot. I just can't tell if it needs to be like darker out. I don't want to be out darker. The nice thing is that it's at the beginning of my walk. So I could probably leave like right before first light and get that shot. I want first light because I want the silhouette of the building. And I think both on a clear day like it is today or even a cloudy day, I think both would look pretty cool. I didn't bring my camera out today. I wanted this to be a rather fast walk, which means I'm trying not to stop and I'm trying to keep my pace up throughout the whole 2 miles to see if I can get around that 18-minute mark for both miles. I think they repaved part of Central Park West, or maybe they repainted the markers, crosswalks, bike markers, lane markers, walk markers. There's a statue here. I do a little research and see what that statue's all about. Let's see, there's a lamp marker right here. So let's see what cross street we're at. Oh, I think this is the one I took yesterday, 68th. So it's West Drive and 68th-ish. It's kind of tucked away towards the street. And then there's another one, which I'm assuming is closer to 67th, 66th. That's a bust, which if I'm using that word correctly, it's the head. It's really just a head sitting on a maybe some unsculpted block. Giuseppe Mazzini. Well, that was easy. Maybe I'll look at that one first. There's a conservatory sign that says where I'm walking right now is called Runner's Grove. Oh, I haven't seen that before. Oops. Okay, it looks like it looks like over by the Tavern on the Green restaurant, they've taken down all the tents. There's one tent up. It's the New York Roadrunner tent. It's a smaller tent, but it almost looks like they've caged or fenced in all like the, hey, come pick up your stuff. And I think I might need to start looking at least for the next few weeks, a new route. On the Central Park West, on the east side of the street, closer to the park, they're putting up all the stands for what I'm assuming is the Thanksgiving Day Parade. It is quiet out today. Maybe everybody's sleeping in today, get themselves pumped, prepped for the big Jets and Browns game today. I think I saw one predictive score is 13-12. It's going to be a bad game. I'll have to say, as a lifelong Browns fan, that's right, they exist. I think Gabriel is our answer at quarterback. Not flashy, great arm, smart kid, level-headed, and I'll say it again, he's not flashy. Right? Reminds me a little bit of Baker Mayfield in size, maybe a little bit of Drew Brees with arm strength. I do think the next 12 months will be crucial for the long-term Browns' success. And I think the quarterback position, I think you keep Gabriel on as a starter, let him develop, maybe bring in a veteran who's got maybe like a year or two left in the league. They'll get rid of the Deshaun Watson contract. Personally, I think they trade Shedeur Sanders. I know that might come back and bite him. He just doesn't fit the Cleveland culture. And you talk about like servant leadership. The Browns should serve the community of Cleveland or Brookridge or wherever the heck they're moving to next. And I think that Sanders doesn't have that in him, just given the publicity that he attracts and wants, desires. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34. I'd say probably 34 floors of livable, workable, inhabitable floors at San Remo. I mean, I'd probably give Stefanski and Barry 2 years, extend their contract for 2 more years, or let their contract run for 2 more years. And in those 2 years, here's the non-negotiables. 1, a winning season, not a non-losing season, but a winning season in both years, the playoffs in 1 of 2 years, and a young, stable team. And you could put quantitative or qualitative around stable and young. I think with Myles Garrett as their centerpiece, and I think what he extended for 4 years, I would assume that the team has 3 years to make that next decision, probably 2.5 years with that next decision with Myles Garrett. The guy's a stud, especially for Cleveland. You kind of feel for him, though. I mean, he set himself up to be good financially. You kind of feel for him that he's that kind of generational talent, and yet they still can't build a team around him. Hey, there's the moon. I finally found it. So let's just say that in general, a couple of positions, in general, their defense is good. Let's say it's good for the next 2 to 3 years. Yep, there'll be injuries. I'm sure there'll be a trade or 2, retirements. In general, let's just say that the defense is in a good spot. I don't remember what their next 2-year draft picks look like. I think they're good, though. I think they've restocked their draft. As much as I hate to say it, but on the offensive side, I think you have to trade Njoku. Boy, that pains me to say that. He's probably at that age where you bring in a kid, which I think they already have a good backup or 2 tight ends that are fairly young. I think Njoku's maybe a little bit injury prone. I think somebody making a playoff run, like maybe later this year. I know the trade deadline's passed. I think there's some wiggle room in there that you could still trade folks. I don't know what like Denver and Indianapolis's tight ends are like, but they're probably on the cusp of making the playoffs this year. Having somebody like Njoku for a good run, maybe for a high draft pick, maybe 2nd round, 3rd round, I think it would be a good pick. I think that would be a good move. Otherwise, let's say if you have 10 picks in next year's draft, 7, 8 of them all have to go to the offense. You got to support the line. I think the running back is good. I think they've got some younger talent when it comes to wide receivers. I know Judy's good, but he just seems like he's getting a little frustrated too. Yeah, I think you pick up a stud wide receiver, a backup fullback, or a fullback, a backup to the running back. You take those with 2 high picks. I think the next 3 or 4 picks, offensive line, maybe a backup wide receiver, and then the rest of them put them on defense or special teams. You know, a kicker has been on the wish list for a while. You just need some consistency out of that position. I think that's it. Like 2 to 3 years, then you can renew Garrett's contract. He's still young enough where he'll probably get like a high second round pick. I mean, if that's the case, and you get rid of his salary, you get rid of Deshaun Watson's salary, and all of a sudden, right, you can start paying some of those kids when their contracts are due in a couple of years. Having said all that, there's probably 2 routes that this ends up. One, I'm a lifelong Browns fan. This is hopeful wishing, hopeful thinking. Always next year is going to be our year. Boy, this year would have been great, though, with the Ravens not doing well, the Bengals not doing well. Pittsburgh will likely slow down a little bit. Or the other way is yeah, more or less the Haslams go this route or have already decided to go this route and have actually brought Garrett into the conversation and said, look, we want to do right by you. We've given you the money. Now we're going to build a team around you. And if not, right, we'll all hold ourselves accountable for the next 2 to 3 years. And if we don't meet these goals, then let's start over. Garrett, pick your team. Or Miles, pick your team. You know, I think we're like where the Chiefs and the Bills used to be before they picked up their 2 quarterbacks. Did their fan base know what a good quarterback was? You know what I mean? Like the Bills got Josh Allen, and all of a sudden they're probably like, oh, this is what it's like to have a professional quarterback. Patrick Mahomes with Kansas City. Oh, right now all of a sudden that raises the expectation level just for that position. However, part of raising that expectation for that one role is also raising the expectation for all the other positions, right? You see Travis Kelce drop a ball and Mahomes is on him. That's not the expectation level that we're setting here. I mean, their running back, I think, has been a little loosey-goosey. I would say probably the offensive planning probably has the running back as a 4th option. I mean, the Bills the same way. Somebody gets injured, so they go out and find a great wide receiver because that's the expectation now on the offense. We saw a little bit with that with Flacco when he came in, and you're like, oh, this is what it means to be playing behind a Super Bowl winning quarterback. And I think we got excited about that. That maybe led us down the wrong path. Or who knows? Maybe Patrick Mahomes is nowhere without Joe Montana. Didn't Steve Young go there too, to Kansas City? And all of a sudden that raised the expectation level of that role and the rest of the team. I mean, if not, there's always next year.